Today I'm going to be reacting to Oil of Every Pearl's Uninsides by Sophie. Now, I've never heard anything from this artist, but I know a bunch of you guys, or at least a couple of you guys, have been suggesting for me to do this album for a while now. So I know at least I'm making a couple people happy with this video, at the very least. I was doing some research, and it said that this artist passed away in 2021 from like an accidental fall or something, which is, of course, just terrible and heartbreaking. It also said this Sophie was a producer before she made this album, so I don't know if there's gonna be vocals on this thing or if it's just gonna be a bunch of like instrumental stuff. I guess we'll see. Yeah, if you guys want to see this reaction uncut, make sure to go join the Patreon, link in the description to where you can join that down below, and we're gonna hop into it. The first track is It's Okay to Cry. I will say, this album cover, I mean, it's kind of going off, okay? Like the colors, the composition, that water, I don't know what it is about that water, but it looks, I don't know, it looks like silky smooth for some reason. It doesn't look like real water, but it's, yeah, super sick cover. Let's get into it. First track, It's Okay to Cry. Let's do it. Okay, looks like we're gonna have vocals.
All of the big occasions you might have missed. No, I accept you. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Kind of whispery delivery here.
Was that a teardrop in your eye? I never thought I'd see you cry. I see the truth through all
Good swells here.
eyes. Even after all this time, just know you've got nothing.
Interesting how subtle this track is so far, with the whispered delivery. But then you just have like explosions.
I see the truth through all the lies. And even after all this time, we shine so bright.
Kind of reminds me of Porter Robinson in a way. Like it's EDM, but it's like emotional, you know? Okay. Wow. I was expecting some sort of explosion like that, but I wasn't expecting it to sound that like harsh. Interesting track, very subtle, whispered delivery. I like, again, her whispered delivery, but it also has this kind of vocal processing to it to make it feel not all the way human, you know? There's something electronic about it, and obviously this is going to be an electronic album, but it's just nice to have like a human bass and a very emotional bass for that vocal, but then to touch it up a little bit and to manipulate it a little bit, it creates an interesting sound. I mean, it didn't like blow me away, but it feels like a good tone setter. Next track is Ponyboy.
Pony Boy.
Oh shit. Oh. What a tonal switch up. Holy. I love the sync up, like the sync up of the vocals and that like crazy synth and drum combination here. It's like it just like pounds into your brain, this rhythm right here. Bum bum. Do, 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 do. Oh, the crunch to this track is insane. Just like listen to that texture. What a banger, dude. Holy. If I'm not mistaken, I remember someone saying Sophie did production for like Charlie XCX, right? Because that was very Charlie XCX vibes, and it just made me think, I hope we get like a Charlie feature on here. That'd be so sick. Yeah, that was fantastic. I mean, texturally, just like the crunch to that track. Ponyboy, I don't really know what that means. Name your toy. Oh, so it's all just about like sex, I guess. This kind of sound was honestly more of what I was expecting. I mean, I'm not saying that the first track was terrible or anything. It is interesting though, because it's a pretty drastic switch up in tone from that track. So I wonder if we're going to be getting a constant back and forth between those vibes in this album, or if it's just going to be maybe bangers from here on out. I guess we'll see. But it also, like, that first track did kind of flow well into the second track too, because yes, it was more subtle and more emotional through the first like 3/4 of that track, but then the explosion, the blow up, the switch up at the end kind of ties into the second track. So it does make sense. Yeah, let's keep going. Faceshopping is next.
My face is the front of shop.
Cecil.
My face is the real shop front.
Who's Cecil Believe? Mozart's
real,
sister.
my face.
What? I'm so confused. Oh my god. Oh my. Woo. Oh my god. What is happening? Feels like I'm on like the inside of a robot, like coming to life or something.
My face is the front of shop.
Like, this sounds like Charlie to me,
My
you know?
face is the real shop front.
That's why it made me think of Charlie XCX. God, she's going off, dude. We're underwater now.
My face is the real shop front.
My
Shop is
god.
the fix.
Dude. Same song? What the heck? Where are we? Oh. What a bridge. Oh my god. Did it? No, it's not. Oh, dang it. I didn't want that to end, dude. That was so good. Holy. I mean, like, what do I say? What do I even say, dude? That bridge felt like it was kind of from a different track, but it somehow worked, tying everything together, going back into the just that insane production. Like, holy crap, dude. The textures. That kind of reminded me of, was it the last track on, or maybe it was Anthems off of How I'm Feeling Now by Charlie? Is It Cold in the Water is next. So we really got Cecil Believe taking over the vocal duties now. Like, ever since that first track, right? This is a great build. Oh, I like it. I was expecting just like a traditional kind of EDM drop there, but we're pulling things back. love how this is mixed with kind of her just in the middle and all this instrumentation swelling around here. It's just like, it creates a very visual picture in my mind. Oh, wait. Shit. I just dropped my water bottle. I'm so confused now because I clicked this annotation. Here, Sophie repeats the phrase over and over. So is Sophie Cecil Believe? Real name. Oh, okay. So I guess it isn't. Okay, so this is a different vocalist. This isn't Sophie. This feels kind of just more like an interlude transitional moment. I think it's great. But I think it is kind of leading up to whatever this next track is. And depending on what this next track is, I feel like it's probably going to be a good fitting, like it's gonna make sense in the order of the track list, because you have Faceshopping, absolute banger. Again, depending what this next track is, if this is some sort of just crazy, super ambitious song once again, this track kind of makes sense as a transitional moment. Like I said, I love how this instrumentation swells around her vocals. I just think like the textural work of just like the synth choices is so well done, because they're very harsh and grating, but they're never like too much. They never cross a line to where it's like unlistenable or unbearable. And I think that is a skill, definitely, being able to choose those sounds and have taste there and understand what kind of synth sounds work together and not have it be too overbearing. Yeah, let's keep going. See how this kind of transitions into this next track. All right, Infatuation. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be Sophie again, doing the vocals. Yeah. And interesting, we're back to this like very manipulated vocal processing. And it feels like it's going to be kind of more of an emotional slow burn like the first track was too. So maybe that's what her contributions are vocally, is these kind of slow burn tracks with this strange vocal manipulation. See what I mean? That like screaming, piercing synth could really easily be overbearing, but it's mixed just quietly enough to where it just kind of, it fits everything, you know, and it's not overbearing. Oh. That guitar? You hear these like watery, slimy textures too? Like that right there? That sounds like what the water on the cover looks like. Slimy. I gotta sneeze. It's not coming. I do have pretty bad allergies right now, so I apologize if I'm like sniffing in the mic. Interesting track, once again, very slow build. I mean, it didn't build towards a drop or anything, but I think the purpose of that track was just kind of to have this really like immersive, swirling, transcendental kind of build of textures here. And I think it's done pretty well, especially with that guitar coming in at the end. And again, that like watery, slimy texture towards the end. I will say too, there's a real like pop appeal to the vocals here. Like the production is obviously crazy, instrumentation's crazy, but it has a nice like kind of pop foundation just to like the melodies and the vocal performances, you know, to kind of hold everything down and keep it grounded. All right, let's keep going. Not Okay is next. Good vocal chop here. Love it. Oh my god. Ooh. Love the space. Love the space in this track between these different parts. Oh, that reverb throw on that was cool. It's not really like reverb, it's just like kind of, it feels like reverb, but it's really just like holding there and then it swells into the next part. Interesting. Ah. Ah! Feels like I'm getting smacked in the face. Okay, I gotta be honest, the slow burn tracks are cool, but I think that is when Sophie is at their best, is just those insane bangers with just like such a good rhythm, such a good vocal chop, insane percussion and drums, and just, oh, so good. Like that snare towards the end, so punchy, I felt like I was getting freaking punched in the face. Oh, I love it. Let's keep going. Pretending is next. I feel like this is going to be one to just kind of close my eyes to. Doesn't look like there's much vocals, just kind of just let it take me away, you know? I like that subtle, like, clipping or whatever. Just the scope of this is insane. Feels like something that would be on like the Dune soundtrack or something. This is so cinematic. What the? It's like religious. That legit scared me. Oh, it's so guttural. What the? was like some creature ripping someone apart. That was so visceral and animalistic. What the fuck, dude? Strangely, that track felt like, again, something out of the Dune soundtrack, very cinematic. It felt like some sort of sci-fi world. But at the same time, it also made me think, like, if every other track is just kind of like a time... This is going to sound so nerdy and dumb and weird. If every other track is just like looking at the timeline of Ableton or something, whatever DAW Sophie uses, looking at timeline of the track, but this felt like being inside the DAW, you know? Does that make sense? I don't know. It just felt like it dove deep into like the underbelly of this album, of this sonic world. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just kind of what it was making me feel. It was so massive and there's so much attention to detail there. I feel like easily you could just think that it's kind of a boring, slow, like transitional moment, but man, there's so much attention to detail in that track, and just, oh, it's so good. And that end, crazy, with those guttural sounds, like, bro, that feels like maybe coming back up to the surface. If that track was, again, the underbelly of this album, the underworld, I guess, of this album, maybe we're coming back up to the surface here. This is the most streamed song on the album. You can kind of see why. Oh, man, the mixing. Woo. Oh, everything's so clean on this track. I love it. Is this Sophie? This is a masterclass in mixing and production right now. This song sounds like it has a budget, like an insane budget. It's produced like a massive pop hit. It's insane. And I mean that in the best way possible, by the way. Where even are we? Oh, okay. What a freaking chorus, dude. Dude. What a pop hit. Insane. That track is like the polar opposite of the previous track, but it somehow fits on the same album. It somehow works, you know? Just like the ultra clean production. I love how I don't know. I feel like it would be so hard to produce something like that without making it feel like, I don't know. I just feel like you hear tracks like this, but they're just like over compressed and just like mixed really poorly. But there's a clarity to a lot of the stuff here. There's a directness, a cleanliness, and just like a simplicity to a lot of the stuff here. I mean, the track has a lot going on, don't get me wrong, but just like the way it's mixed, you know? It's just like, it feels like a very just like, here's everything, here it is. It just lays it out really simply, and I think it doesn't need any muddying up or anything to like, to make it feel like super strange or unique. I mean, it does... I'm not saying that it's not unique, but it's just, I love how direct and straightforward the presentation of that track is. It makes sense why it's the most streamed on here, but I think it's also one of the best just because of how fun of a listen that was. Such a good chorus, such a good rhythm. Fantastic. Let's keep going. Last track is like, what, 9 minutes I think it was? Yeah, 9 minutes. Okay. Whole New World / Pretend World, so maybe like a two-parter. Yep, two-parter.
Whole new world.
Oh. There's something so visceral about Sophie's production. It's insane. Oh. Oh. Like, what is that? Some sort of vocal, but manipulated like crazy. Oh. Oh my god. That like touches, that like, oh my, scratches such a weird itch in my brain. God, oh my god. Okay, that was maybe a bit too much. Sorry. This is... What is happening, dude? God. How do you make that vocal? Oh my god. Like alarm going off in the back. This is making me so happy right now. This is so sick. Come on, dude. I love how we're continuing to build around this kind of riff, you know? Just see how many things we can throw around it. Oh my god. It is losing me a bit here. I feel like it's overstaying its welcome a bit, but I'm guessing we're transitioning soon. Hear this subtle bed of great way of slowly taking us into this part too. It's like some windy textures here. Wow. Oh my, this is beautiful. I gotta sneeze again. Wait, there was vocals? Huh? That's kind of crazy. What the heck? These were in that last part? I think the emotional weight of that track is so, like, subconscious. I was gonna say that track emotionally drained me, and I think it's clear now why it did, because there's so much like heart put into that, even if I didn't even realize that there was vocals going on in that last part, you know, and I wasn't even reading these lyrics during that. It just like on a subconscious level, on like a very visceral and like human level, I felt that the heart being poured into that track. And I mean, the way that track, like the first 2/3 of that track, insane. I love just kind of building around that do, like that same riff going out throughout the whole thing, but throwing so many different ideas on top of it. And it never feels like flashy or showy to the point where it's just like, look at what I can do, and just like trying to impress the listener, you know? It feels like everything has its place, and it builds on that in a very subtle way. Like obviously it's very over the top and intense and extreme, but the way that it builds into this last part, again, is very subtle, and it just feels right. I don't know. Yeah, that track was amazing. I think it was dragging on a little bit towards the transitional moment, or before the transitional moment, but other than that, just like such an emotionally draining journey of a song, you know? And I feel like that can just be said about this album as well. Emotionally draining journey. It's just a mastery of production and a mastery of just like flow within these tracks. My one complaint is just that I feel like the track listing is a little bit disjointed. I feel like the actual pacing of the album could have used some work to make it just flow a little bit better. The individual tracks themselves flow really well and just feel right. So yeah, insane textural work, insane vocal manipulation on some of these. Great like guttural sounds, visceral, animalistic sounds. I mean, you have the luscious cinematic pretending that is, I might just like fall asleep to that, to be honest, even though it kind of has a terrifying ending there. Maybe it'll give me nightmares or something. But yeah, just like, again, an absolute mastery of mixing, production. And I definitely missed out on a lot of the like emotional themes here. But I mean, there's only so much you can catch on a first listen. And with something as dense and layered as this, it's going to be tough to catch all that on a first listen. So on future listens, I'll definitely like pay more attention to that. But just like sonically, the world that Sophie created here is it's uncompromising. There's a great attention to detail, and yeah, this is honestly kind of like inspiring me right now. It makes me want to go make music. I mean, it's not nearly going to be nearly as good as what Sophie did here, but it just like, I don't know, whenever an album can inspire you to want to do something creative, you know, that is a sign of something truly great. So yeah, I think this was fantastic. Yeah, it just sucks that this artist passed away. I'm guessing early in their life, died at 34. So just very tragic, very sad. But this was fantastic. I think it exceeded my expectations. I don't think it's perfect. Again, some issues with pacing, but overall, just a really, really, really impressive feat of production here. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, let me know down below. Let me know if I missed anything. Any tidbits or info you want to put in the comments is always welcome. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, go join the Patreon if you want to see this uncut, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.